Hi, welcome to this video. So, I am doing this shelf therapy challenge, which is a reading challenge in 2026. It was created by per underscore fictionist on Instagram. I'll put it here. Um, so, this is a reading challenge that has 12 prompts, and you can do it across the entire year. And I'm really looking forward to doing this. Let me tell you a little bit about this challenge. So, the creator describes this challenge as a reading challenge for overwhelmed girls drowning in books, which I am. I volunteer as tribute. So, the rules of the challenge say that the books that I pick for this challenge should be books that I've owned for like a year or so. Um, Not all of the books that I've picked for this challenge satisfy that criteria, but I'm picking them anyway. And after all, this challenge does say to join in if picking books from your daunting TBR seems difficult, which check. So, for this video, let me first take you through all the prompts in this reading challenge and then I'll talk about the books that I've personally chosen for the challenge, okay? So, I'm just gonna read out the prompts, okay, because I cannot remember 12 prompts for the life of me. There are 12 prompts in this challenge. Take a shot every time I say 12 prompts. The first prompt is a book you forgot that you owned. The second one is a gifted book. The third is a book you once saved for later. The fourth one is a book you want to annotate. The fifth one is a short book around 150 pages. The sixth one is a first book in a series that you own. The seventh one is a spine that always catches your eye. The eighth one is an author you own multiple books by but haven't read yet. The ninth prompt is a book you bought for the cover. The 10th prompt is a translated work. The 11th prompt is an author you want to give another chance. And the final 12th prompt is a genre that you associate with cozy days. So now that you're somewhat familiar with the prompts, let me take you through all the books that I'm picking for this challenge. The first prompt is a book you forgot you owned, and for this challenge, I'll be picking Wild and Wicked Things by Francesca May. This is a really gorgeous book. I mean, just look at it. So, technically, this was also a gifted book, and I'm so sorry to my friend who gave it to me that I kind of forgot that this existed on my shelves. To be fair, for some reason, I thought this was Dark Rise by C.S. Pacat. I think I'll put the book somewhere. I thought this was that book. And then I realized, hey, this is a completely different book. It's called Wild and Wicked Things. It's a standalone and it's set in the 1920s with like decadence and magic and excess and whatnot. So I think that this is going to be a really cool book, and this is what I'm picking for this particular prompt. The second prompt is a gifted book, and although I have like five books, potential books that could satisfy this prompt, I'm gonna go with The Lost Bookshop. So, this is a book that was gifted to me by a coworker, a mentor, and a friend. And I'm just honestly really excited to read this as soon as possible. I also kind of wanted to get other books by this author. I almost put it on my wish list for the World Book Fair. Like, I put one of her books on my wish list for the World Book Fair, but it was optional and I didn't find it. They actually, I was looking for that book, and you know what they handed me? They handed me another copy of The Lost Bookshop, and I was like, dude, that's not the book that I was looking for. And then ultimately, they didn't have it anyway. But yeah, the reason that I'm picking this one for this prompt is because I really want to read it. I want to get to it as soon as possible. The third prompt is a book you once saved for later. And my pick for this challenge is a book that honestly terrifies me. It's The Secret History by Donna Tartt. You can see the bookmark inside this book. So I technically started this book like a couple of weeks ago, but I've barely read like 2 pages. I am worried, a little bit ashamed, and still pretty terrified of this book, not going to lie. I did like pick up this book almost a year ago with the creator of this challenge. Like we were supposed to buddy read it, but I don't think she read it either. And yeah, I kind of DNF'd it at the moment, thinking that I think it would be better to read this in the biting cold, which is right now. It's technically supposed to be the fifth day of spring today. It's Vasant Panchami, but for some reason it has been rainy and gloomy, and there's like a thunderstorm right now. Perfect weather. Just saying. So the fourth prompt is a book you want to annotate, and for that I'll be picking The Raven Boys. I have wanted to read The Raven Boys Quartet for a good while now, and if you watched my recent videos, I keep talking about this series. I know I haven't started reading it yet, but I'm gonna. So now this series is on my 26 books for 2026 books list, as well as like the first book being one of the picks for this challenge. Yeah, I want to annotate this book because I just know that I love it. Don't ask me why, don't ask me how. I just I just know. If you question me na, light chali jati hai, so don't question me. We've been having a frustrating and honestly concerning number of power fluctuations all day. Like, I can't tell you how many times this video has been interrupted by power cuts, but I'm just gonna breeze through it, guys. I'm just gonna. So, like I was saying, The Raven Boys, I know I'm gonna love it, and I want to annotate it and take my time with this series. So, this is the book that I'm picking for this particular prompt. The next prompt is to pick a short book, which is about 150 pages. And for that, I'm picking nonfiction. So this book is called Neurodiscipline. This is the tale of two battling brains and why we are predisposed to laziness and energy conservation. The key to beating this is understanding the brain's imperatives and working with them. Neurodiscipline is your easy and practical guide to success. I don't know about success, but it is good to get some insight into how your brain works and how to control it better. Because we are constantly being controlled, or like there are constantly other factors, other entities, whole ass corporations that are trying to control us, take our attention, and take our time, energy, like we are the product for them. So I think it's a good idea to pick up something that tells you how to take all of that back and be more disciplined and be more focused and all of that. So, yeah. The next prompt is the first book in a series you own. And now, this is another book from a series that is also on my 26 books for 2026 list. This is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. This is a cozy fantasy. And just look at it. Hold on. Yeah, there. Can you see that? It's such a gorgeous book, and I'm really excited to read this series. And I'm hoping to read this in like mid Feb, and like from mid Feb to mid late March, because that's when it'll be springtime here. And I think I would enjoy reading a book about fairies in the springtime when things are thawing and everything is warming up and there are flowers all through the city. It'll be gorgeous, it'll be great, it'll be the vibe. So, this is that book. So, the next prompt is a spine that always catches your eye. And do you see that? Do you see that? So, the book that I'm picking for this particular prompt is Babel. Look at that. Look at that shine. Look at that spine. Just look at it. Look at all the gorgeous, gorgeous letters with all the like designs on the back. That's not foiling, right? No. I don't know what this design is called. You can tell me if you know, okay? But yeah, Babel has been long overdue. I kind of categorized this with The Secret History, which is like two black dark academia books that terrify me. And this is the most chaotic video that I'm filming in the last few days, and I don't know what's up, guys. What is this? What is happening? Um, So yeah, I'll be picking Babel. Actually would have been reading Babel right now if it wasn't for the secret history. And now I genuinely don't know when I'll pick this up, but I'm thinking maybe November, because that'll once again be the time that I associate with my dark academias. I don't know. I don't know. But like yeah, it's a part of the challenge, so I hope that I'll be picking it up this year. The next prompt is an author you own multiple books by but haven't read yet. And my pick for this particular prompt is Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angeles. And this is like another theatrical, I think, circusy vibes book. It has magic. It has, I think, a competition to become a magician. I think that the main character wants to be one of those people, but I did start reading this like a while ago, so I remember what happens in the first few pages, and I think like she's mocked by some dude, her friend, her employer. I don't remember. So yeah, she's gonna go and she's gonna compete probably. And this is the first book in a duology. So I own both of these books, but I haven't read them yet. So this will be my pick for this prompt. The next prompt is a book you bought for the cover, and it has to be another Emily Wilde book, because just look at all these books. They are so gorgeous. Look at this one. Okay, so you know what? It is a gorgeous book. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like really, really concerned that this is a pirated copy. I got it off of Amazon, and it does have this holographic thing that they put on books to signify that they are like legit books. But how hard is it to make a sticker? I don't know. Um, this one does not have any foiling on it. I showed you the first book and it had foiling on the cover, right? The red foiling. I think that this Emily Wilde, the name and these acorns should have some foiling. And I was at the book fair this year earlier, and I saw a copy of this book and it had the foiling on it. So I think I overpaid and got scammed, and I don't have the original book, and that makes me really, really sad. But you guys, I did still buy this because it's gorgeous. I actually have special editions of these three books. They are right here behind me, and I'm gonna try and show these to you guys, or like when I go through my bookshelf before I rearrange it. So stay tuned. But this is a gorgeous book that I bought for the cover, and that's the one that I'm picking for this prompt. Also, you know what? Let me just take another second and talk about the Emily White books, because I legit searched for this book in person so many places. Like I went to various bookshops and I went to the book fair and everything. And at the book fair, they told me to get it online, which I am still mad about. Um, like legit, it's have you heard that phrase like "dar dar bhatkiyon मैं इस किताब के लिए?" And the realization that I got a pirated copy is just is sad. It's sad, you guys. And another reason why I didn't pick up the series before now was because I didn't have the third book, because like I couldn't find the second book anywhere, and then I finally got it off of Amazon, and then I couldn't find the third book anywhere, not even on Amazon, because it was like 1.5 to 2K or something, and that's way too expensive for a simple paperback, especially a pirated paperback like I know that I have. Anyway, getting back onto the prompt list, the next prompt is for a translated book, and I thought I didn't have any translated books, but then once I got this book, I realized that I did. So let me just first tell you about the book that I'm picking. This book is called Invisible Kitties by Yu Yo-Yo. This is originally a work in Chinese that has been translated from Chinese to English. It's about a couple who accidentally adopts a cat, and their like adventures and misadventures and such. And like it's got a cat on the inside and a cat on the outside, and like all these gorgeous paw prints, and even inside there's like artwork and stuff. Hold on. It's look at that. It's got illustrations of cats inside it. So that's really, really cute. And this is the first book actually that I purchased at the book fair this year. This was not on my wish list in any way. Like I was keeping an eye out for translated works, but This is, if even if it was originally in English, I would have picked this because this is just so cute. It just felt right for me to buy it at the time, and so I did, and I'm really really happy with this, and I'm really excited to read this. This will be my pick for prompt number 10. And once I bought this and I picked this, I realized that I own two translated works. So yesterday I was talking to a friend who has started reading Norwegian Wood by Murakami, and I remembered that I own a thrifted copy of that book. I used to have a pen pal like a couple of years ago. Like, she lived in Pune, I live here in Delhi. We used to write back and forth. I don't know why our like chain of sending letters broke, but for some reason it did. But before that, she convinced me to try his works, and that is when I got that book. It was because it was a thrifted copy. I just put it in one of my lower shelves, like with other thrifted books, because I'm really, really worried that there might be like dust or like mites or insects or something that might, like, my other books might catch them. So I always try to keep the thrifted books a little separate. And yeah, I lost track of it. So I have that, and I think I actually might be reading that because my friend is reading that, and she just read Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and I had so much fun discussing it with her because I read it like a couple of years ago. So yeah, I have another translated work that I will be reading, and then a third translated book that I owned that I forgot. Like, the third that I owned and the second that I forgot was The Tomb of Sand. Oh damn. I just realized that I also own Heart Lamp, which is also a translated work. I did like finish reading it in December 2025, so I don't think that's gonna count for this challenge in any way. But I also had that. Why was I so convinced that I don't have any translated works? And of course, like, I also had Days of the Morisaki Bookshop and More Days of the Morisaki Bookshop. I own translated books. How could I? Why was I? I just forgot, guys. What? Anyway, I also had The Tomb of Sand, which I like read maybe 60% off 2 or 3 years ago, but I couldn't quite finish it because it was like very repetitive. That particular book, I could get the way like it was written in Hindi from the translation, but I'm pretty sure that that particular book in Hindi would be such an easy read, but because they had translated it in a way, I think they were like trying to preserve the quirks and the turns of phrases that we use in the language, that it actually became more difficult and more like it was just hard to read for me personally. So yeah, I could have like tried to finish that as well. I DNF'd it at 60% like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I don't even remember. Um, so yeah, that was a lot of talk for one little prompt. But the book that I am still going with is Invisible Kitties. Um, and I might just read another translated work just for the heck of it. The next prompt is an author that you want to give another chance to. And for that, I'll be reading Aristotle and Dante dive into the waters of the world. Aristotle and Dante Dive into the Waters of the World by Benjamin Alire Sanez. Sainz? Sean? I'm so sorry. I'm trying to show you the foiling on this book. I don't think I'm able to though. Can you kind of see? Yeah, this is such a gorgeous book. So I read the first part of this, which is called Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, which sounded like this book about two guys going on some magical adventure. I don't know why I was convinced it was going to be magical. There would be magic involved, maybe because there was like discover the secrets of the universe. Alternatively, it could have been a book about physics. It was neither. It was about two queer kids growing up in like the 70s or 80s or something like that. The book was fine. The title was super misleading, which really like affected my reading experience. Like, I was waiting for the magic. I was waiting for the promised secrets of the universe, and that just didn't happen. I didn't mind the book. It's just that the way that it was titled. This is like what happened with me and not Caraval, the Night Circus. This happened with me and the Night Circus as well. Um, the like blurb and the way that it is described tells you that this is going to be a book about two magicians battling it out to the death. They've been raised since they were children, that they'll one day enter a competition and they'll have like one nemesis and they'll have to defeat them. It'll be die or be killed, and it's just amazing. And then the backdrop is a magical circus. Guys, if you want to read that book, that's not the book that the Night Circus is. No one told me. I went in there like expecting these like cutthroat fights and like feats of magic. There was magic, but it was, the Night Circus is just vibes, no fights. And if I were to read it again, I'd probably like it. But at that particular time, I was specifically craving these two people battling it out, and that was just not it. And similarly with like the first book in this series, I thought it was going to be vastly different from the book that I actually read. So now that I know what to expect, I am curious and I would like to give this one a try. I got it almost as soon as it came out, so it's not like I don't like the book or the writing style or anything like that. It's just that it's not what I was expecting, and that like really affects my experience, you guys. The final prompt for this challenge is a genre you associate with cozy days. And my pick for this challenge, this prompt, is a book that I'm matching with. Damn, that looks good. It's Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Titan's Curse. This is the third book in this series. This is like, it's cozy because, first of all, it's Percy Jackson, and this is kind of what led to all of this. But also it's like middle grade. And like this is when I was younger, I didn't know that books have like published series and you're supposed to read them in order. So this is the one that I picked up. This was the first Percy Jackson book that I read, and damn, this book has yearning. Like for me, this is the perfect Percy Jackson book. I don't know how it is for other people who've read it in order, but for me, this, since this was the first one that I read, and this book has yearning. Like, not to give you spoilers for a book published 20 years ago, but um one of the characters gets abducted, and the other, like another character, is like ready to move heaven and hell to go and rescue them. And the entire book, they're like obsessed with thoughts of this abductee. And and of course you've got the Greek gods and the magic items and the sword fighting and all the cool things that I loved as a kid. I have talked about how many swords I own, right? So yeah, that's like the coziest thing I can think of. The love of your life being abducted and you having to go on a rescue mission, fleeing from authority, and getting almost killed a bunch of times in the process. Cozy, super cozy. And you know what? Actually, I have been reading the fourth book in the series. I'm trying to read the. I wanted to reread the second book in the Percy Jackson series because the second season of the show is currently going on. I think it just ended, right? And I thought, why just read the second book? Why not read the first one? And after I read the second one, I was like, well, I love the third one. And so now I'm on the fourth book. And today is genuinely such a cozy day. It has been raining all day. It's just a perfect day. And you better believe that I have been and will be reading that book today. But for the sake of this challenge, I picked this book. At the time of like selecting all the books, I had not read this book. I have at this point, so I'm like 8% of the way through the challenge already. I'm so cool, I'm so awesome. Anyway, so okay, so a little bit of a disclaimer and a little bit of a caveat for the books I've picked. Although I'm like pretty sure that these are the books that I'll be picking for this challenge, but I might change my mind at some point. I might not, okay, but I also might. So that's cool. That's okay. I'll do that. Um, I can't predict the future, but I just thought that I'll say that. Like, for example, if I read Norwegian Wood right now and then I'm just not able to get to Invisible Kitties for some reason, then I might just change that. Or, you know what? Can we add multiple books to a prompt? I don't know. I think I'm gonna message the creator and try to ask. Let's hope she replies. But yeah, that. in case like you're interested in this challenge, I'll put the link to the post for this challenge in the description, and the challenge link on Storygraph. I think I know how to do that. Fingers crossed. But yeah, so like I said, that these are the books that I've picked out and added to the challenge. I have added them all on Storygraph. I'll also link my Storygraph and my Goodreads and my Instagram in the description box. I don't know why I don't do that, so I'll be doing that. And you guys can reach out to me and text me and DM me and hang out with me, or even just take a look at all the books that I'm reading, or like let me know and I'll follow you back, and then I can look at the books that you guys are reading. Why not? Um, so yeah, these are all the books that I've selected, and I hope that I can accomplish this. I hope that I can finish this challenge. Like, I know at some point we have to sit down and talk about that 12 books in 12 weeks thing that I tried last year, but honestly, it's too cold. It's too cold for me to talk about a failed attempt. Okay, I'm done. All right, and so is this video, but thank you so much for watching all the way through. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like. You can subscribe to me because I'm really awesome, and you should like watch me yap. So I try to post every Fridays and Sundays at 6 p.m. IST, and by try I mean I post Fridays and Sundays at 6 p.m. IST. So you should carve out some time, make it an hour just to be safe. Like, I try to keep these videos not that long, but you should be so lucky to hear me yap for 1 hour. Okay, yeah, that's enough. I'm done. Happy Vasant Panchami, although it's like more like Varsha Panchami with all the rain. I've been making that joke since this morning, and like, look at these cute little duck earrings that I'm wearing. Shout out for these earrings. And yeah, I'll see you all in my next video next Friday. Bye bye. Hello, welcome to this video. So, 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 light fuck up ho gayi. Excited to reading this. I'm really excited to reading. What? So the book I'm picking. Why do I keep saying pricking? This will be my book for. Hello, welcome to this video. So I am doing the shelf therapy challenge. Light chali gayi. It is a reading challenge because how are you gonna read जब light ही नहीं है? Uh, what was that sound? So the book that I'm picking for this challenge. Blah, blah, blah,